You're Up and Adam.
Chapter systems are offline.
We are Beyond FM.
Beyond FM.
The future of broadcasting is here.
Up and Adam with Adam Montiel. It's community content from Concentrate. It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Yes, some say life is just where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween indeed. And thank you for being Up and Adam. So what do you say we get deliciously dark? Two powerhouse. I can't. I can only do it for a second. All right? I can only do it for a second. You know, I'm going to do the whole show like that? Come on. Yes, happy Halloween. If I was doing a voiceover or something, yeah, I'd say, in a world. Oh, yeah, I'll go there, but all right, happy Halloween indeed. Thank you for being Up and Adam. My name is Adam Montiel. All right, two powerhouse co-stars. These are just incredibly brilliant, talented, and lovely women. Amy Hargreaves, you know her from Homeland, also 13 Reasons Why, and Landry Bender from Looking for Alaska, also Pure O. They step into a psychological thriller that takes self-improvement and turns the mirror. Their new film, Self-Help, follows a young woman who infiltrates a dangerous self-actualization community after her mother falls kind of under the spell of its enigmatic leader. And this one's good. It lingers. The perfect Halloween watch. And here's the treat. Self-Help opens only in theaters nationwide today. Stay close. In just a few minutes, Amy and Landry are going to join us to talk power, control, and the moments on set they still can't shake. We'll get into what drew them to this story, how they helped shape it behind the scenes with producer credits, and why this Halloween release will have you questioning who's really holding that microphone in your head. All right, coming up after the chat with the gals, we're going to talk to Robin Coleman, who is our favorite part about finding forever homes for dogs, even cats. She is from the Woods Humane Society. They're coming off a big weekend of Wiggle Waggle, where I tell you, Georgie and Harvey, they got their Santa photos, and they're like calendar worthy. These, I don't know. And again, they're my dogs, so I get it. But no, these two took like the most beautiful picture looking right in the lens. I was like, saw these pics. I was like, damn, the photographer was on it. Santa looking handsome. And me and Santa are good. We're good again. Well, he said in front of everybody, he's like, I know you haven't been a good boy. That was kind of, said in front of everybody. So yeah, we'll talk to Robin Coleman from the Woods Humane Society coming up after our chat with Amy and Landry. Before that, it's the final day of October. October all month long in San Luis Obispo has been anything but ordinary. It's Arttober. From live performances to public art, museums, and the always fun piano in the plaza, creativity is everywhere, all around you. Don't miss it. Find your Arttober adventure. Go to slowcity.org/Arttober. And I have just absolutely loved diving into, what was it? The symphony, the slow opera, Central Coast Comedy Theater, and then yesterday talking to the ballet theater. We've been partnering up with the City of Slow all month long, and man, was it fun to dive in to Arttober.
It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
All right, it's Halloween, and we've got the perfect premiere to match the mood. Amy Hargreaves, Homeland, 13 Reasons Why, Blue Ruin, and Landry Bender, Looking for Alaska, Republic of Sarah, Pure O, are here with their new psychological thriller. It's called Self-Help, opening in theaters nationwide today. The film follows a young woman, played by Landry, who infiltrates a dangerous self-actualization community after her mother becomes entangled with the leader, who's like this kind of enigma of a dude, Super excited to welcome Amy Hargreaves, Landry Bender. Thank you both ladies for being Up and Adam.
Thank you. We're excited.
Thanks for having us.
We live in a world obsessed with transformation, right? Glow ups, breakthroughs, healing journeys. But in self-help, we kind of see the darker side of that promise. What happens when becoming your best self means losing who you were to begin with. What drew each of you to this story? And did the script hit a personal nerve about how seductive self-improvement culture can really be?
Wow, these are great questions.
Adam, yeah. Yes. What drew me initially to the script was, to be completely honest, I had binged a couple of cult documentaries, on Netflix. You know, there's those coming out every few months. I found them fascinating. And my own parents, my mother in particular, got swindled by kind of an online. It wasn't a cult, but it was, people. I saw her getting taken advantage of in a way that was very upsetting to me. Those two things were kind of fresh in my own personal experience when Eric Bloomquist came to me with this script about cults, about the wellness industry, and about how regular people can fall prey to people who are ready to take advantage. And that was my way in, and it rang really true to me. This is a horror movie, but there's so much psychological stuff that's going on that is so grounded and so current that for me it just felt right on the money and very, very current for today.
I agree. I think that it's the perfect sort of hybrid of this fun Halloween movie that has, pumpkins everywhere and clowns and all of these like insane masks. And like, it's very like bring your popcorn and go to the movies for Halloween weekend. But also some of my favorite horror movies are super grounded and psychological. And I loved like getting to do so much prep work with my character and getting to sort of see how she is the moral compass in this film, and she's sort of seeing all these people around her lose themselves to this cult as she tries to protect her loved one. And there's so much going on here. I think it appeals to a lot of different audiences.
Now, both of you, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't just star in the film, but you helped produce it. And that means you weren't just kind of inside the frame, you're really helping shape it. And I'm curious, what was one or some of these creative conquerings or maybe hills that you were willing to conquer as a producer, something you maybe have to keep to fight in the film, or the easy choice, or maybe not easy choices that you have to make during the process?
It's fun to be a part of a project in a bigger way as a producer, and for me, I can only speak to my experience, but I work really well with the Bloomquists. They're incredible collaborators, and it's the kind of relationship where they'll pass me an earlier version of the script and say, "Hey, what do you think?" And the conversation is there. It's the back and forth of like, "Hey, did you think about this? This is ringing great. This is maybe a little funky." So the process kind of happens that way for me with the Bloomquists, and then it can carry through to helping brainstorm for casting ideas, or, getting the script to a friend who I might know through my career that they might be interested in for a certain role. So producing can look a lot of different ways, and that's how it has looked for me with the Bloomquists.
It's permission to have more agency. I think a lot of time as an actor, you're afraid to step on too many toes, or you're afraid to sort of be more than just like the girl on screen who's saying her lines. But it's really incredible that the Bloomquists trusted me also our first time working together, and me being so young to, be able to have a voice and more of a sense of agency, and get to just have more say in this character in this process.
Yeah, that's exciting. And Landry, fans have watched you grow up on screen, from Disney's Glow to Hulu's Grit, right? But this film really is certainly different. I mean, it's a sharp turn. What did stepping into a darker, more psychological world like self-help, what did that kind of unlock in you as an artist that previous roles maybe never asked you for?
Yeah, great question. Wow. It's every time someone asks me like what my dream role is, it's such a broad question. I always just say it's something that I feel challenged and almost scared of. Like, I love the idea of being super intimidated by the material or the process. And I think that is like really where you can find true growth as an actor. And so I was really excited to step into this process because I had never done anything before where the entire film is sort of through my character's eyes. Even with some of the cinematography, you're literally watching this camera rig on my body sort of view the entire world from a different perspective, which was very, very rare and challenging. And getting to do so much prep work on her relationship with her mother and the death of her father, and getting manipulated, by friendships and this cult leader. Like, there were a lot of different dynamics, and just sort of oppose everybody else in the film, and to be the heart of the film in the way that she's the only one seeing the world as it actually is was a challenge and was exciting. And I was grateful to be trusted in that way, and that Eric saw me as a good fit for it.
That's rad. Amy, from like Homeland to 13 Reasons Why to indie gems like Blue Ruin, I mean, you kind of really built this career on women who carry deep, sometimes quiet storms, right? In self-help, what layers of your own path and experience, whether as a mom, a mentor, or woman navigating real life, did you really feel I need to pour into this role?
Yeah, I feel like there's a universality to Rebecca in terms of women and women's experiences, modern women's experiences, in that she's made a lot of mistakes. She's tried her best, but she really has fallen short as a mother, which I know a lot of us have. And also that there's loneliness to her. She, is alone and has met a man, and she's hopeful. She's trying again. And unfortunately, he might not be what he seems. So I have a lot of compassion for her, even though she's very flawed. I know there's a lot of women out there who are lonely and who are trying to connect, not only with their children, but with perhaps a romantic partner or a community, in a way to make her life better and more full.
There's something like chillingly magnetic about the film's cult leader. And it's not like the robes or candles. It's like the way he listens or the way he promises belonging. And I'm curious, like, Landry, what do you think makes people vulnerable to figures like this? And how did that insight maybe shape the way you approached your character's choices in the film?
I think it's what you said, that it's a lot of times people who are struggling and going through hard times just want to be listened to. And someone that manipulates you into thinking that they're an ear, they're someone to be there for you and give you comfort, is really all that anyone's looking for. And that's really the saddest part, is the people that are the most vulnerable and that are the most hurt and lost just want someone to listen. And there are people like Jake Weber's character in the film that kind of trick you into thinking that they're listening. And that's kind of what happens in this. And I also feel like it's really scary for Olivia, my character, being so young and being the only person who is seeing it for what it really is, because she's seen as innocent and naive and that she hasn't seen enough of the world, yet she's the only one who's perceiving the world in the most accurate way. So that's kind of what our film flips on its head, because I think in a lot of these Netflix cult docs that we're also addicted to, you sort of see the parent pulling the kid out of it because the kid is the supposed naive one. But in this case, it's the opposite. It's the kid trying to pull her mom out of it. And so that's where, he tries to trick her because she's innocent, but she's the only one seeing him and standing up to him in an equal way.
Right. Amy, in a weird way, do you think like every one of us has that moment, maybe in our life, where we could have been pulled into something like this?
Yes, I do. I think we're all looking for connection. And if it's, nobody wakes up and says, oh yeah, I'm going to join a cult. People believe in these things because they're searching for connection. And that's who we are as humans. We need that community. So yeah, I think it's a slippery slope for everyone.
Landry, I'm so curious, because, this movie doesn't really rely on jump scares. It's very psychological, right? It gets under your skin, and it kind of stays there. What was the scene that haunted you, not just to shoot, but almost to, like, shake off later, like you thought about it afterwards?
I think it was the scene with Amy when I'm sitting on the floor and she has the knife to me. That was also the scene in prep that I was sort of looking at the least because I was almost afraid of it. Like I didn't want to memorize the lines. I didn't want to get into what the scene would even look like when we shot it, because it just like terrified me in a really sad way to like watch a mother and a daughter go through that. And I also loved the way like Jake and Madison played that scene, because they were such pivotal parts of like kind of turning my world upside down. And it was really powerful to just connect to Amy literally an inch away from her face, and to see like this broken dynamic between the two of them.
Amy, when you're done playing a character that's been through that kind of emotional ringer, how do you come back to yourself?
Oh man, that's a great question. You just, sometimes it's really basic. I have to sleep it off.
Yeah.
I go home, go to bed. It's emotional. The scene that Landry was just speaking of was same. I was I was almost afraid of it, and it was very difficult to do. So yeah, after moments like that, I just have to kind of wash it off, go to sleep for 12 hours, take a nice hot shower, go for a swim, and then kind of start again.
Yeah. And let me ask you, Amy, because, there's this new wave of thrillers, right? They're smart, socially charged, emotionally sharp. But at the heart, it's still like that storytelling that's like hitting our nerves. How did you kind of balance like making a film that's current, yeah, but it's like tapping into like social media, self-worth culture, Gen Z language, all still while kind of honoring those like classic thriller roots?
For me, all of these big themes and these big things we're talking about kind of have to go away. And I just need to think about who the person is and what the lines on the page are and just kind of try to be as grounded as possible in this character and look at the actor across from me and connect with them and play the role. So what we can think about all these bigger metaphors and themes and where it is in the place of film history and horror movies and psychological thrillers, but it kind of doesn't really matter if you're not kind of believing who you are and connecting with the character.
I agree. I think that it's almost now during these conversations that we sort of realize the movies it reminds us of or the different implications and things like that. But I've been talking about, I think Get Out came out when I was around 17, and it was sort of coming into age of myself. I was like, this movie's amazing. And obviously there's been so many prior to it, but I remember that being such a big moment, and to understand the implications and to understand like the certain things that were going on with the undertones of it were really, really cool. I just felt very smart watching it. And I love movies that make you feel smart. And I think that that's the first one that comes to mind for me.
That's so interesting. The movie is layered, and it forces you kind of to question authority, truth, and then really even like your own instincts. And I'm curious from both of you, Amy, I'll start with you. In your own lives, like how do you personally tell the difference between something that's like truly helpful and then something that like, yeah, sounds helpful, but no, it's not?
Gosh, it's really hard. Sometimes you have to go through and make mistakes and then realize. And there have been times in my life when I've been, in maybe not the best relationship for myself. And at the time, you think it's something that it is. And it's all about life and learning. And you have to just kind of take those experiences and grow and not make the same mistake again. That's how I've done it.
Landry, what about you?
I'm still a baby and still, I think, making a lot of those mistakes, but that's kind of the beauty of life. I would agree. I think a lot of life is making mistakes, but also as far as people being helpful, I mean, like I was saying earlier, sometimes the best is just to be an ear for someone. I've made the mistake, and I've had people in my life make the mistake of, trying to elicit your own advice or your own experience and say, like, when I went through this is what happened. And it's like, well, it almost feels narcissistic. It's like, help me, you know what I mean, with my own circumstances. So I think the best is just to sort of listen and nod and be there for someone and, ask them what they need instead of trying to impose your own experiences.
Yeah, like the leader doesn't like scream or chase. He kind of controls through charisma, through presence. And I'm curious, Landry, as a young woman, like what did the film teach you, either on screen or off, about power that doesn't look like power?
Your questions are so good. It's really scary, I think, in life as a young person and as a woman, sort of being taken seriously, but also not taking up too much space to where you're talked down to. It's sort of a weird game you have to play. And so I think this movie taught me a lot about, having to step into your power and believe it instead of, having to be too timid. It's a really fine line to have to walk. I was talking earlier about like Amy as someone who's been in this industry longer than I have. I look up to so many women in this industry who can just command a space and not be afraid to do so. So I think it's taught me a lot about that and yeah, just to sort of like own and claim your power.
What's cool about this film is the relationship between mother and daughter. It kind of drives the emotional engine. And it's pretty complex. I'm curious for each of you, what's something that maybe you pulled from your real life relationships with maybe your own mother or daughter? And how did that help you kind of embody that tension that was on screen?
It's sweet because Amy has a daughter and I have a mom that we're both very close to. That's very sweet. Yeah, I mean, my mom's one of my best friends. We're very, very close. And so it's definitely very different from the dynamic in this film. But I will also say, like, even being so close, like there's tensions and there's such like complicated dynamics between women, whether you're friends or whether you're related. And there are like little teeny moments way different from this film that you can pull from for sure. And I think that it's complicated being a woman in society and to have to raise one, I'm sure. And it's nice to be able though to have like such a strong woman to look up to. And I think whether it's the toxic dynamic in this film or the healthy one in life, it's very cool to have a woman to look up to and pull from.
Yeah, no relationship is perfect. And I certainly haven't been a perfect mother. I'm very, very close with my daughter. But she's had moments in our, in the last, she's 22, in her last, as she's come into adulthood, where she's kind of pushed back on me a little bit and in a good way and with good purpose. And I drew from some of that stuff, especially just that the heart connection that I feel like Landry's character and my character have in the movie, and that scene on the floor with the knife. It feels really real. It feels really real, and I was able to definitely pull from real life for that.
I feel like thrillers hit different when they feel close, and like when the horror, it's not like a monster, but it's like from people that like we let in. And I'm curious, like, what do you think is scarier? Is it being controlled, Amy, by someone else, or is it realizing you were complicit, like in your own manipulation?
Yeah, that part. And also just really, really failing as a parent is really a horrific thing to realize, and to realize all your mistakes and the weight of it and what the result of that is. That's tragic. It's tragic.
Yeah. Landry, do you think the characters in this film would have still, found their way into this story without the cult? Or was the cult just the reflection of something kind of already broken in them? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. I mean, I would hope not. I would hope they would find, therapy or some other avenue to go down that was maybe a bit healthier. But I also think, when you get to a situation where you're broken enough, you're kind of clamoring for anything. And whether that's a bad friendship or a bad relationship or, a cult, like you unfortunately sometimes fall into things that aren't right for you. But you can be broken and sort of be led down the wrong path. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a cult or another toxic situation, but definitely, yeah, if you're broken enough, unfortunately, for sure.
Landry, was acting in a thriller like this, was it kind of more like an emotional sprint or like a psychological marathon?
I'd say a little bit of both, kind of depending on the day. I was saying in an interview earlier, all I did when I was going back to the hotel room after filming was sleeping and watching Love is Blind. Like, I literally didn't socialize, didn't call a lot of family members. Like, it was just kind of sleep was all I was catching up on, because I think physically there was a lot of sprinting and then emotionally it was a lot of labor there as well. So I would say a good mix of both.
Amy, one character that you've played that kind of still visits you, maybe sometimes when you least expect it.
Kimberly from Brain Scan from 30 years ago, which is a cult classic, and is having a moment right now. Actually, people are rediscovering it. I love Kimberly.
That's so cool.
The girl next door.
Right? Mm-hmm. Let me ask you both. What is scarier as an actor? Is it watching the final cut, or is it watching someone else watch it?
Watching someone else watch it for me. I would rather watch it alone, like in a quiet room, than I can watch it with someone if I've already seen it before alone. I think that's sort of my thing, is watching it for the first time with someone else is very scary to me.
Yeah, that tracks. To be honest, like watching it, listen, we all know this. The movie gets made 3 times. It gets written, it gets shot, and then it gets edited. So we, as actors, we're filming it, and then we walk away. And generally, we're not seeing it until it's all edited and together. So for me, the first time I'm watching something, it's fascinating because the film changes. So you're kind of in your head about, they cut that half of that scene, or I can't believe they used that coverage of this scene when I thought I was great in that other coverage. So you're really in your head the first time. I am anyway. The first time you see something. So I need to get that first pass over with, and then I can enjoy it with an audience. And it's not scary to me. It's more fun.
So interesting. Well, ladies, you guys have been so awesome to talk to. I really, really enjoyed meeting you both. This was fun.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks for such great questions.
Yeah.
That really means a lot. I really take the that aspect of it seriously. So, and I love just kind of learning. And I'm, my mom always said, like, you are way too curious. You need to go do something where you're asking questions that you get paid for it. So I'm glad I found that route, right?
Congrats.
Amy Landry, so awesome to meet you. Thanks for the time. I wish you luck on the film, but that's probably not fair to people who need it. So you guys are going to rip it and kill it. So I appreciate you. Thanks for being Up and Adam.
Thanks, Adam. Take care.
Thank you.
Wait, he's incredible.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
Oh, that was really sweet. I caught that at the end. Amy. Oh, thank you. You were really kind. Weren't they great? Man, love meeting them. All right, Amy, Landry, thank you both for bringing the glow and the goosebumps. Self-Help is out today, Halloween. Only in theaters, nationwide. Check out the trailer, grab your tickets. You can also find Amy and Landry on Instagram. Got all those links, all of them in the show notes, so check them out. All right, let me tell you about my skincare speakeasy, my friends at Life Elements. You know that thing we all say when someone, maybe something hurts and we don't want to deal with it, and what do we say? We go, I'm fine. Yeah, well, Life Elements is for that. For the bites, the sore joints, the stiff neck, the stuff you've been quietly living with that you don't have to anymore. Based right on the Central Coast, they're in Atascadero. Life Elements makes powerful plant-based wellness products that are they're known worldwide, and they literally work. They deliver healing. Think broad spectrum CBD, magnesium, calendula, arnica, essential oils blended into sprays, sticks, bombs that actually do something. Visit them at 7425 El Camino Real, Suite O. They're in that back right corner. These are two of just the greatest people, business owners that are on the Central Coast. I just love these folks, Kurt and Martha. And you walk in there, Martha will be whipping up something. She might even be like, oh, let me see. And you walk out with something that she just whipped up for you. It's like that. You can also pick up their stuff at the Hive in Arroyo Grande, the General Store downtown Paso, of course online, lifeelements.com. Check it out, and while you're there, use that promo code Adam. Save 15% off your cart online, lifeelements.com. Again, promo code Adam. Don't just be fine, feel better. Support local and let your wellness meet its maker. All right, now my favorite part about finding forever homes for dogs, even cats, the lovely Robin Coleman. She's from the Woods Humane Society. Robin, it's great to chat with you. Thanks for being Up and Adam.
Happy Halloween, Adam.
Happy Halloween, indeed. I feel so weird telling you because it's Halloween now, but I just got our Christmas pictures, our Santa pictures back for Wiggle Waggle. They look adorable.
Adam, that is the cutest photo. It's well worth coming out to Wiggle Waggle and getting through the crowds and standing in line. That photo is amazing. Like, could be in a catalog.
So cute. Yeah, your Santa, by the way, is so good. He remembered me from, just past years being there. He's like, what? He's like, you don't have to work today. You're just hanging out, which was so sweet. And then he says, I don't know about asking you if you've been a good boy or not. I'm like, oh man, Santa throwing me under the bus.
He knows you. He knows you. Maybe Santa listens to you every morning.
Right? I got to say congratulations to you, your team over there at Woods, because what Wiggle Waggle was just even bigger success than you ever dreamt up. And even in years past, just well done.
Yes. And every year I tell my team, like, okay, guys, like, we can't beat the numbers every year. So it's okay. Like, if we go lower, or if not as many people come, or we don't have as many cute dogs. So I always am like preparing myself to be a little bit let down, and nope, this community impresses me every single year. Over 950 people came out, over 340 dogs came out, over 40 vendors, 16 sponsors. It was the perfect weather. It was Santa Claus was here. Happy people, happy dogs. This is what we want. This is what we work hard for. This is what every shelter dog deserves. So we had a great time at Wiggle Waggle. It was so cute, so many impressive costumes. But again, most importantly, happy people, happy pets, people
Yeah.
who love their pets so much that they'll come out and dress up and stand in line and do a costume contest. So it makes us very happy. And our adoption promo, Subaru Loves Pets, sponsored half price adoptions for just about 10 days. Over 104 shelter animals found homes in just those 10 days, and 13 found homes at Wiggle Waggle.
That's so great.
So it was a pretty good day.
Subaru had some pretty cool swag where they had like this little Subaru car with a hatch that opened up. And then
they bring
inside
the
that was
swag.
another toy. So I had two toys with one toy. So with the two dogs, that made for a great gift. I loved that.
We love Subaru. You know, the commercial Subaru does, like national commercials are always amazing, but we love the local Subaru also supports shelters, and they bring the best swag. So
Also,
good stuff.
Groomers, and I just got the dogs groomed a few weeks ago, and my groomer, I love her. I'll give her a shout out. The Pristine Paws and Slow. Hannah and her team are awesome. And she was like, hey, we got our hands on like the paint, like the safe paint that all folks want now. And man, a lot of dogs. I saw this one dog, a picture, they look like a giraffe. I saw a tiger. Like they're putting on the paints on the dogs. It is so cute.
That giraffe and tiger, and the owner was a groomer, and she was dressed as like a safari guide or something. She groomed her two dogs. It took her 3 hours each, she said, and they were such patient dogs, but they were one of our costume winners. But did you see Jurassic Park? They had a whole cart with ferns and dinosaurs and blow-up dinosaurs. They were really impressive as well. But I love watching dogs in costume as long as they're enjoying it, and most of them were.
We did a Jurassic Park thing one time for the Avila Parade, and I'll tell you, Georgie loved it because he's like, oh, these guys get to push me around and pull me around in a wagon the whole time.
Oh, yeah. The dogs that were in strollers and carts, they were like, haha, you suckers over there having to walk on leash.
Now,
and then there were 3 cats, Adam, 3 cats.
Were there?
Strollers
Oh my God.
ventured, such brave people to put them in a sea of 300 plus dogs, but they were safe in strollers. They took their Santa photos and then they made their way through. But there were actually 3 cats at Wiggle Waggle as well.
That's so funny. Well, best Santa photos ever. We're super excited about them. Now, we do have a pet of the week. Let's talk about Poncho.
Oh, Poncho is our happy Halloween pet of the week. Of course, I put a pumpkin costume on him, and he's up on Instagram and Facebook. Check him out. He is a cute little guy, but he's got that forever little sad puppy dog eye frown. And so even if he's happy, he still kind of looks sad. So he just has that little worried look on his face, but I think he is adorable. He's just under 2 years old. He's a Chihuahua mix, great lap dog. And I will say he's pretty quiet, pretty calm. He is a young dog, but mostly he wants to sniff around, do his own thing. He'll come up to you for some attention. Very treat motivated. He has a great sit already, thanks to our volunteers that have been working with him. But in just 1 or 2 times, I got him to do a full little twirl, and he was up on his back legs. So I think he would make a great agility trick dog. He wants to learn, and he's really focused, but just an easygoing guy that does not need to be taken up a kennel here at the shelter. So check out Poncho. He's up on Instagram and Facebook. Give him a share, tag your friends. I hope that Poncho finds his home this weekend.
Poncho is a cutie, beautiful color. Wiggle Waggle, a success. Anything else happening at Woods we need to know about?
Well, I'm excited to share those Pets of the Year calendars that people voted for and are now available in either of our lobbies for just $20. You're helping out Woods, and you can go through and see who won the Pets of the Year calendar for 2026. There are some cute photos in there, and of course, we love that we put Woods dates like Wiggle Waggle and our gala and some of the pet holidays in the calendar. They make great holiday gifts for any pet lover or Woods lover. So you can get those right now at either of our location for just $20. Our pet calendar of the year.
It's a great way to give a little donation. A little goes a long way with Woods too. And I promise next year, my dogs will be in there. Next year.
I mean, Adam, you should submit the Santa photo.
I know.
And you would
for
get
December.
I mean, come on.
Oh, so you saw the picture. Okay, then yeah, you're totally right.
I saw it. I thought.
Yeah.
I knew those were your dogs immediately, and I thought they did so well. I mean, a lot of dogs are looking at Santa or looking at their owner.
Yeah.
They were locked in. They were like, we're camera ready.
So good. Okay, that's the deal. I love it. Robin Coleman from the Woods Humane Society. She is my favorite part about finding forever homes for dogs, even 3 cats that went to Wiggle Waggle. So such great news. Robin, as always, love chatting with you, and I can't wait to again next week.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
All right, ready for the weekend? I hope you have a wonderful, safe Halloween. Watch out for the little ones all around, trick-or-treating. Let's keep them safe. And if you're 21 or over and you're part of the grown and sexy crowd, you're going to get out there tonight. Make sure you don't drink and drive and keep it legit. Want you to have a blast. And I want you to connect back here with us on Monday. Big week next week. Lots going on. Want to thank our friends at Moonshiner Collective for original music on the show called Start Again. To our friends Josh and Chiasa at Tamber Winery for giving us the Tamber Lowbro Studios. TamberWinery.com. You can taste their wines in the village of Arroyo Grande. TIMBRE. TamberWinery.com. And thank you for rating, reviewing, subscribing to the podcast wherever you listen to it. Believe me, it really makes a difference. Taking a few seconds, get into Apple Podcasts, throw in that 5-star, even dropping a little review. I know it might be a pain. It helps traction, helps build this community. Appreciate you a ton for that. And until Monday. Oh, don't forget, I got a brand new episode of Where Wine Takes You. This is a great episode. New folks, Gravesend. Also talked to Andy Neha of Karn Winery. Some really cool people. These guys have a great story. Just meeting them was awesome. Brand new episode publishing later. Where Wine Takes You. Top 10 podcasts in the nation. All about the beautiful people, stories, bottles in Paso Wine Country. So check that out. Wherever you're listening to this show, you can listen to that one. All right. Have a great weekend. I'm Adam Montiel. Till Monday. Thank you so much for being Up and Adam.
Some say life's where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again. Let's start again. We'll start again. Let's start again.